The trading station of Kepler 442 hummed with the usual cacophony of 1,000 species conducting business. Marcus stood near the docking bay entrance, his datapad flickering with manifest logs as another cargo shipment was cleared for departure. He'd been working as a logistics coordinator for 3 months now, ever since humanity had joined the Galactic Consortium. It was honest work, boring work, but it paid well enough. "Marcus Chen, human designation," a melodic voice called out. He turned to see Isabella Martinez approaching, her maintenance uniform still stained with coolant from the reactor levels. They'd arrived on the same colony ship, part of the first wave of human workers seeking opportunity among the stars. "Isabella, finished with the thermal regulators?" Marcus asked, offering a tired smile. "For now. Those Velkari engineers still can't believe we can work in temperatures they consider dangerously elevated." She grinned, wiping her hands on a rag. "Want to grab something at the cantina? I'm starving." They navigated through the crowd, towering chromat traders with their 4 arms, gossamer-winged Pixith fluttering between market stalls, and the ever-present Zeftor security forces in their intimidating exosuits. Humanity was still new here, still proving themselves worthy of galactic citizenship. The cantina was packed. Marcus found a table near the observation window while Isabella ordered food from a vendor whose species he couldn't identify. As they ate, the massive view screen above the bar flickered to life, displaying what appeared to be a sporting event. "Gladiatorial combat," Isabella said, following his gaze. "The Zeftor love this stuff. Trial by combat is still legal in their honor codes." On the screen, 2 warriors clashed. One Zeftor, one from a species Marcus didn't recognize. The combat was brutal, elegant, and utterly alien to human sensibilities. "Barbaric," Marcus muttered. "Different culture," Isabella replied, though her expression suggested she agreed. The peace shattered when raised voices erupted across the cantina. A Zeftor warrior, his ceremonial armor gleaming with battle honors, stood over a young Pixith merchant. The delicate alien was trembling, its wings folded tight against its body in a posture of submission. "You dare sell me defective goods?" the Zeftor roared, his translator implant rendering the words in harsh, guttural tones. "I invoke the right of recompense." The cantina went silent. Marcus had heard about this ancient Zeftor law that allowed warriors to demand satisfaction for grievances, usually in blood. "Please, honored warrior," the Pixith squeaked. "It was an accident, a malfunction. Irrelevant." The Zeftor drew his blade, a wicked curve of monomolecular steel that shimmered in the light. "You will face me, or I will take your life as forfeit for the insult." The Pixith couldn't fight. Everyone knew it. The species was physically incapable of combat. They'd evolved as traders and negotiators, not warriors. This wasn't justice. It was execution. Marcus started to rise, but Isabella was already moving. She walked through the crowd with purpose, her steps unhurried but deliberate. The Zeftor warrior stood nearly 8 feet tall, his muscled frame augmented by combat enhancements. Isabella barely reached his chest. "This doesn't concern you, Earthborn," the warrior growled, the scanning system in his visor having immediately flagged her species. "Actually, it does," Isabella said calmly. "I'm invoking the right of substitution. I'll stand for the Pixith." A ripple of shock went through the crowd. Marcus's heart hammered in his chest. What was she doing? The Zeftor laughed, a sound like grinding metal. "You? A female of an unproven species? You mock me and my traditions." "I mock nothing. I'm offering you honorable combat, warrior. Unless you're afraid?" Isabella's voice remained steady, almost bored. The warrior's eyes narrowed. His pride had been challenged, and refusing now would bring shame. "Very well, Earthborn. When I've finished with you, perhaps your people will learn their place in the consortium." The crowd formed a circle. The cantina's AI helpfully projected the combat rules on nearby screens. No weapons beyond what the Zeftor already carried. No outside interference, combat until yield or death. Marcus wanted to scream, to stop this madness, but consortium law was absolute. Isabella had made her choice. The Zeftor entered a combat stance, blade held low and ready. Isabella simply stood there, hands at her sides, watching him with an expression of mild interest. "Defend yourself," the warrior demanded. "I am." With a roar of frustration, the Zeftor struck. His blade was a blur of lethal precision, a strike that could cleave through reinforced steel. It was a killing blow, meant to end this farce instantly. Isabella's hand moved. 2 fingers, just her index and middle finger, caught the blade mid-strike. The monomolecular edge stopped completely, held between her fingertips as if trapped in a vice. The force of the blow didn't even make her sway. The cantina erupted in shocked gasps and chittering from dozens of species. The Zeftor's eyes widened in disbelief behind his visor. "Impossible," he breathed. Isabella smiled then, finally showing emotion. "You know what's funny about Earth? It's a high-gravity world, 1.2 times what your homeworld considers heavy gravity. We evolved in it, live in it, train in it every single day of our lives." She twisted her wrist slightly. The blade shattered. "Every human child grows up carrying the equivalent of a Zeftor warrior's weight just in their own bones and muscles. We thought we were weak, you know, before we came to the stars. Fragile. Breakable." The warrior stumbled back, his expression cycling through shock, fear, and finally, understanding. "The system flagged me as Earthborn," Isabella continued, her voice carrying across the silent cantina, "like it's a warning. And you know what? It should be. Not because we're violent or aggressive, but because we're strong in ways you can't comprehend. We endure. We adapt. We survive." She turned to the Pixith merchant, who was staring at her with all 4 of its compound eyes wide. "You're safe now." Then she looked back at the Zeftor warrior. "I consider this matter settled. Honor satisfied?" The warrior slowly lowered himself to one knee, a gesture of profound respect. "Honor. Satisfied. I name you Blade Catcher, and I will carry this lesson." As the crowd dispersed, buzzing with excitement and spreading the tale, Marcus finally reached Isabella's side. His hands were shaking. "Are you insane?" he hissed. Isabella shrugged, already heading back to their table where their food was getting cold. "Probably. But someone had to show them. We're not just new kids on the block, Marcus. We're Earthborn, and it's time the galaxy understood what that means." Marcus looked at her, really looked at her, and saw something he'd never noticed before. Not just a maintenance worker or a friend, but a representative of a species that had climbed its way up from Earth's unforgiving gravity well. A species that the universe was only beginning to understand. The system had flagged her as Earthborn. It should have flagged her as dangerous,